Just as I predicted, Very Darkman has been arrested by the police and the law enforcement are charging him to court, and the case is about the uniform he put on. This was exactly my prediction when I was advising Very Darkman yesterday. Just a day ago, I was telling Very Darkman and I said he will be going to prison. And I know it is a very painful thing for us to see, for us to watch. And we are asking ourselves what happened and why are they taking this very serious. When I was making the video about Very Darkman, I told you guys that Very Darkman will go to jail and the law enforcement are not the friend of Very Darkman. Judges are not the friend of Very Darkman. A lot of people in the political space and in the business sector who has actually taken advantage of certain people, and Very Darkman has called them out. These organizations, some of them used to give the law, and some of them allegedly would have been bribing some of the corrupt cops in the past, and now Very Darkman has exposed where they've been making some money from. These are just allegedly, and if you consider it, this is the reason why I am saying Very Darkman needs to be careful. But no matter how I put it, a lot of his fans will think that we are angry. A lot of his fans will be asking, what have I done? You have not been to my community. You don't know what I am doing in my community. But then you think that we hate Very Darkman. We love Very Darkman, and let us actually analyze this critically. Why is Very Darkman arrested? Let us all reason many factors to it, and that's what I'm going to be doing. And in my analysis, I would like to hear your comments, and I would like to hear your feedback on this particular subject. If you have not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel, like and share, and let's go. Today, that tends to be 31st of October 2024. Very Darkman has actually been arrested. I think I'll be posting this video today tends to be October 31st, so tomorrow is going to be 1st of November. 1st of November is when I'm going to be posting this. Very Darkman has been arrested, and I saw this coming, and I knew there was no escape route for Very Darkman on that particular aspect that he put on the police uniform. Now, I want you to understand this, that the same thing that happened during the time of Bobrisky, that they allow other people to move and they did not charge those people, but because it was Bobrisky, Mommy of Lagos and the other things, they took Bobrisky for spraying money and they called it the abuse of Naira and they charged him to court. Now, the same thing is happening to Very Darkman. Very Darkman just puts on a uniform similar to the law enforcement and make a video that is not more than 4 minutes. And when Very Darkman did this, they gave him a warning. They said this and they said that, and they invited him to the station that they want to investigate. And I said this, that they are not trying to investigate, they want to arrest Very Darkman, and they are going to charge him to court. Please just go back to one of my videos and you would see everything I analyzed there. Now the question is this: what could be the reason? I think number one, like I've said previously, that part of those organizations that Very Darkman would have been exposing, some of this organization might have allegedly be bribing some corrupt cops. And then these corrupt cops, some of them we have heard or see in a sense that they give the bosses some funds in one way or the other. But except you are very close to the law enforcement, that you would know exactly most of the things I'm talking about. An average Nigerian did not know it. There is no corrupt cop without a corrupt boss. And let me make this clear. If care is not taken, the Femi Falana them are going to remove that defamation case that they are talking about, which they are going through the civil, and they can turn it again into criminal case, and they would not give a damn what Nigerians have to say. All they would like to do is to get back at Very Darkman. Now put it in this perspective. If the police is going after Very Darkman just for wearing uniform, and it was not warned at all or pardoned, and it is possible for the Femi Falana to also decide to take a criminal action against Very Darkman, the House of Rep, perhaps there are people who are corrupt in the House of Rep. There is a possibility that you might see certain individuals who could say that, oh, what this guy posted was first, and because of that, let him be arrested. One of the obvious things is that Very Darkman does not have a very good advisors. He has a good heart, a good intention for his fans, for the Nigerians, but they are no good advisors. And then one of the questions that pop up in my mind also is, what about the godfather of Bobrisky? If Bobrisky have a godfather, and that is the person pulling out the string for Bobrisky not to be in the not to stay in the prison, and for him going to the semi-border trying to escape, not appearing in the House of Rep, trying to escape and being apprehended, put in the law enforcement custody, and before you know, he complained of high blood pressure, or she complained of high blood pressure, and he was being freed. Don't you think such a godfather could possibly be pulling the strings that the law enforcement must go after this particular guy? And I know that most of his fans would say, oh, Very Darkman is a strong guy, he will be able to hold on to it, he will be able to move, and what are we doing about the situation? And one of the things we are doing about the situation, if you ask us what are we doing, is that we are educating you guys. Hopefully you can listen, because Yoruba will say aja to ba fe sonu ko ni gbo fere olode. And let me say this is just the tips of the iceberg. I think that if Very Darkman is smarter than the way it is operating, which there's a chance for everybody to grow, Very Darkman needs to change his routine on certain things. Because I believe that these particular charges that they take against Very Darkman, it is very easy or possible for them to have dropped it and not to charge Very Darkman based off what he has been doing. And I said it, that Very Darkman, don't see these police people as your friend. You are blocking way for some law enforcement who are the corrupt law enforcement. Stop thinking also that judges are your friend. Judge is not your friend because you are pointing out to the corruption in the judicial system. So a judge might want to take advantage whenever you are found in the court to do something that would make you stay longer in prison or make your bail very difficult. And one of the things you need to start asking again is that, how would Very Darkman continue his NGO vision? I think it will be difficult for Very Darkman to make this NGO stuff come true. Why? If he does not change the way he's addressing things in life, he is not going to be able to do anything at all. And you see, there's a mistake of some of the Rattle gangs people. They think that the amount of time somebody goes to the police custody or being arrested or going to prison shows the courage of that person. No, it doesn't show the courage of the person. Just because you are going to prison 500 times does not mean you are courageous. It means that maybe you need to do some reflection and some digging so you can strategize how you can start making your moves in life. And I, as a person, has an intention. I wish that I could have the contact of Very Darkman. I wish I could always keep talking to him as a brother, advise him on the things he needs to do, and we can work certain things together. But as I have seen what Seun Kuti has said, that Very Darkman does not listen to anybody, then I think it might be difficult for us to be able to build a strong relationship where he can listen to me, because a lot of things that we might be saying, people might think, oh, whatever this guy is doing is probably doing it because he also wants to have audience, just like Very Darkman. I want the audience, but to educate the audience, some of the young ones that are coming up, about the choices we make. And I'm not saying that Very Darkman is making the wrong choice. I think that his actions, in a sense, like his intentions are pure, and so he's taking certain action to make sure that he gives something to the society. But the problem is that the action he actually takes to address the situations are most times wrong, because we ask ourselves a question. If you consider him putting on that uniform, one of the things there is why it was unnecessary for you to wear the uniform in the first place. And secondly, we want to blame the law enforcement, because we have seen a lot of people wear these things and we do not know if they take permission or not. At least we can see many skit makers who have done this and have not been apprehended by the law enforcement. And the law enforcement cannot lie to the public that every single one of them used to collect permission from them, but because it was Very Darkman, they jumped on him. And trust me, I'm not saying they are not supposed to do what they have to do before they crack down on me. What I'm saying is that it could have been pardoned. Everybody knows the heart and the work of Very Darkman. Why can't he be forgiven? Now they want to charge him to court. Now even if he's going to get a bail, they can make his bail difficult. And let me say this, perhaps they put him in the federal high court, they charge him to federal high court as a criminal case. Now you understand, except say you never go there before, and the other courts, what do they call this? So the magistrate court is easy for you to get bail. When they take you to federal high court, you cannot get bail in one day. It's going to take process. So for some days, people might not hear from Very Darkman, regardless of anything. And so, regardless of the fact also that the law enforcement have the video with them, and then they probably might have the uniform, and if Very Darkman decide to plead not guilty, even though they have the evidence, and he plead not guilty and he will be granted bail, now the question is this: they might most likely want to win the case against Very Darkman, and if they do and he's found guilty, they would want him to serve longer time. Let me not say the judge, but something like that might take advantage of the situation. But this has to stop if Very Darkman actually want to do something useful in Nigeria. And I think that at this position, Very Darkman is just supposed to focus on the NGO thing. Focus on it, because if you are pointing fingers and doing all these kind of things, you do not need any clout. You do not need to, do anything that is going to draw attention of people. You are the center of attention. So anything that you know that can incriminate you, anything that you know that is unnecessary, anything that you have to consider every step you take at the moment, because it's like the all eyes of the world, or Nigeria specifically, are all on you. And this includes both those who love you and those who actually want to see you fail. There's a song that a man sang. He said, "You got to know when to do, know when to work, know when to walk away, know when to hide. You got to count your money. There is time and season for everything." Very Darkman is not in the season or the time in his life where he needs to start addressing issue of, oh, they slap me and they do this. And that's why I say he needs to adopt or employ certain guys within his community who are interested in doing some of the things he's doing, just like Very Fair Man is doing. But you need to also consider the fact that most of these organizations that you call out, some of those organizations might most likely be bribing some corrupt cops. I hope you guys get it. And these corrupt cops are no more going to be making money, because the brand has been tarnished. And so who are they going to pay attention to, or who is the person that is making them suffer? Now they would think that VDM is the one who is doing it. And so when they have the slightest opportunity to bring down Very Darkman, they will gladly want to do that. And if those who truly love Very Darkman, if you truly love Very Darkman, You wouldn't want to see him keep going to jail and going to jail and going to jail. I have been in jail because of my community. I've been in jail just to be able to liberate my people. But at least when I'm doing all these things, I know exactly how I calculate, what are my moves, what are the things I can say, what are the things I can say at the moment, and I have to leave certain things. You can't just address everything at the same time, and you don't have to show certain things at the same time. I believe some judges might hate Very Darkman, and I think that the primary thing Very Darkman needs to focus on is just the NGO. If he does that, he's going to go far in life. The world is going to trust him. Nigerians are going to put more hope on him. He's going to be able to achieve his goals in life. But if he keeps moving on this way, I do not know if it's going to serve him well. And trust me, I hope you guys know that the House of Rep will take advantage. Do you know that Femi Falana could decide to take advantage of him? Do you know Bobrisky Godfather can take advantage of him? Do you know that the law enforcement can take advantage of him? So there are a lot of enemies that are being created, and some superstars who has been dragged before and the rest of it, who are no more aligning themselves with Very Darkman, will also be supportive of those people who are trying to bring Very Darkman down. I think Very Darkman is in a position, he sees himself as, oh, I'm still the street guy. You are no more the street guy. You are beyond the street guy at the moment. You have become a leader, and as a leader, you need to grow. Growth is what you need to be intelligent and to be able to start making right choices and knowing exactly what to do at the right time. And I'm not afraid. I'm willing to join Very Darkman in the battle. I'm willing that Very Darkman have the right people around him who can give him the right advice, and he can do certain things that he would be moving smoothly. And I'm not saying there's anything perfect in a sense like he would never go to jail regardless of every advice. No, those can possibly happen, but there are something that are minor, and these are going to disengage you from the real thing of the NGO. And I said it the other time when he started the NGO thing, I'm like, this thing is going to be difficult. And the question is this: what is actually going on with the NGO stuff? And trust me, if you keep going to jail, a lot of people will start compromising, thinking that, oh, maybe he's using the NGO money, and that's the reason why he's just putting himself into different situations, so that people would think, he would give excuses that it was because they were coming after him over and over again. So that's the reason why some of those money were used. Nigerians knows how to think anyhow. And so when you take a penny from Nigeria and you give them a promise, man, Nigeria is too strong. You don't want Nigeria on their bad side. You don't want Nigerians to be on the bad side and they want to deal with you, or they lose trust in you. It's not going to be funny. It's not going to be funny. And I know for me, I can take some, no matter the statements some people say, because I just see like anyone who is considering whatever I'm saying and think I don't know what I'm saying, or I'm ignorant of the law, or I'm ignorant of the things that Very Darkman is doing, trust me, I don't take that person serious, because that person is definitely not logical enough to understand. And the question is this: now everybody is at home, nobody's going there to go and sleep in the prison with Very Darkman. Now, if Very Darkman has been advised, which there was no purpose of you putting on this police uniform or something similar, because you know the police uniform we wear something similar like the law enforcement uniform. This, if you had said Very Darkman don't wear it, the people would have still clamor and tell you that, oh, you are stupid, while you are this, you are that, and you shouldn't tell Very Darkman how to live his life, because we love him. And if you want him to succeed in life, there are all kinds of information he needs to have, not necessarily advice, but information. And in those information, he might give himself the right advice. And now everybody's going to clamor, and some people will be rejoicing on the platform, and the others would just be saying, leave VDM alone. You wouldn't go to protest. You wouldn't go to ask for his freedom. You wouldn't go to jail with him. You wouldn't give him money. With that being said, everyone who is trying to do something important in Nigeria, you need to be careful when doing things. I think Very Darkman needs to be careful. Forget all this prison. No be how many times you go to prison means that you are a warrior or you are a hero. just for going to prison. Nelson Mandela, it wasn't because he went to prison. No, it was because he liberated his people. He had a vision and he had a plan and strategized. Fela Anikulapo Kuti, we respect him not because he go to jail, but because of what he did with his music. It is the result of the situation that matters, not the prison or saying I have too many enemies. That's not what we are looking for. With that being said, if you haven't subscribed to the channel. What do you see about this? Do you think I've made wrong analysis? What do you think is your own advice to Very Darkman and the way forward to all these things? What do you think Nigerians need to do also to support Very Darkman in this tough time? If let me hear your feedback. I would appreciate every feedback. Thank you very much. See you in the next one. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, like and share. See you in the next one. Adios, amigos. Bye bye for now.